Okay, so, like, imagine, right, the future. But forget the shiny spaceships and all that. This is gritty. It's rebellious. Super stylish, though. That's cyberpunk, yeah.
And we're diving deep into cyberpunk fashion today. Not just like dystopian gloom, This is about rocking your own thing, having a look that's all about the future, but like fashionable.
Yeah.
And get this, you don't need a time machine for this.
Yeah.
We've got this awesome blog post. It's like Cyberpunk Style 101, and then we've got this statement from this brand, LAZERorange.
Okay.
They get it,
It's interesting, right? Cyberpunk fashion, it's not just about throwing on some neon and being like, bam, on cyberpunk.
Right.
It's deeper than that. It's about that rebellious spirit, like standing out in a world that's all about being the same, Totally. It's like, yeah, okay, tech is everywhere, but I'm still me. And this blog post totally gets that. It breaks down, like, how to build a cyberpunk wardrobe. They've got outerwear, bottoms, tops, accessories.
Yeah.
All about making a statement.
Each piece is like almost a tool, to build your own cyberpunk persona. Like they were talking about these oversized blazers, exaggerated shoulders.
Oh, cool.
Maybe in a bold color, electric blue or something, or metallic.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine walking down the street like that?
Hold on, rewind. Did you say metallic blazer?
Yeah.
Because I need that in my life.
Yeah.
But it's not just about looking like you walked off a movie set, right?
Yeah.
This blog post, they talk about mixing vintage with modern for that real tech noir kind of vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine, say, a vintage band tee. That old Ramones one everyone has.
Right.
Paired with like a futuristic metallic miniskirt or a really structured modern blazer with some edgy leather pants.
Right.
Playing with those proportions, the textures, mixing eras.
And speaking of eras, this whole DIY thing keeps coming up, like customizing your look. Why do you think that is? Is it like rebelling against the big corporations or more about, I don't know, creating your own identity in this world of mass production?
It's probably both, right? Like, think about it. Hacking, customizing tech, that's just everyday stuff in a cyberpunk world.
Makes sense.
So doing it with fashion, it just makes sense, Adding patches, changing buttons, even messing with dyes. You're taking something mass-produced and making it your own.
It's not just slapping on a random patch, though, right? It's got to mean something to you. Your thing, your rebellion, your own visual statement. And speaking of statements, we've got to talk about LAZERorange. This brand, they're living and breathing cyberpunk. And their whole statement, it's like a rally cry for anyone who's over the rule book and wants to rewrite the style guide.
Totally, yeah. They just get it, Vintage and modern together, bold colors, the material. It's like they took all the cyberpunk rules and said, this is us.
Okay, so clothes, check. But what about hair and makeup? Because let's be real, you can't have a cyberpunk look without the right hair and makeup.
Yeah, definitely. It's like that final code you put in, to really bring that cyberpunk persona to life. And the blog posts, they get into some pretty cool detail about this.
So, cyberpunk makeup. Hit me with the details, because the article mentioned some pretty wild stuff.
Oh, yeah, this isn't your everyday look. Think bold. Graphic eyeliner, like almost like circuitry patterns around the eyes.
Wow.
Maybe even some metallic temporary tattoos, that techie vibe.
Okay, circuitry eyeliner. Never would have thought of that, but I'm into it.
What about hair, though? Because they were talking about some pretty bold colors, blues, pinks, even those ombre things fading from dark to neon.
Right. And don't forget the actual styles. They had these asymmetrical bobs, super rebellious, edgy undercuts.
Cool.
Even just adding like metallic clips or a bold headband, that could totally change your look.
It's amazing how a few little things can just transform your style, right? Take it from ordinary to cyberpunk just like that.
They even mentioned LED hair extensions. Can you imagine, like, catching those under the city lights? So cool. But it's interesting. Both the blog post and this LAZERorange statement, they're hinting at something bigger than just the clothes and the look. It's like a whole attitude, a way of life almost.
Definitely. Cyberpunk's always been about questioning things, Whether it's tech, art, or like you said, fashion, it's about being yourself and having the guts to stand out, even if it makes people uncomfortable. Owning your look.
Right, like saying, yeah, the world's kind of a mess, but I'm going to do my own thing and look awesome doing it.
Exactly. Confidence, self-expression, not just what you wear, but how you feel. And that confidence, it spreads, It can inspire other people to be themselves, break the rules, all that.
So we've established cyberpunk fashion. It's more than just a trend. It's this whole statement. But it's also like adaptable, right? There's no one right way to do it. It's about taking those core elements and making them your own. Not copying, but using them as inspiration.
Exactly. It's like this. The blog and LaserOrange, they're giving you the tools, the pieces, but you put them together your own way. Maybe you're all about the futuristic, tech glowing stuff, sleek looks, or maybe you're more about that DIY vibe, patches, distressing, that grungy look.
Like they're giving you the code and you can hack it, remix it, whatever you want. I love that. So for someone listening right now, totally inspired, wants to try some cyberpunk style, what are the key takeaways? Where do they even start?
I'd say figure out what speaks to you about cyberpunk. The tech, the DIY aesthetic, the makeup, the hair. Once you've got that, start incorporating those elements into your look, but in a way that feels authentically you.
So not just copying what you see in movies or magazines.
Exactly. It's about channeling that cyberpunk spirit, that individuality, and expressing it your own way.
So it's like finding your cyberpunk, right?
Right.
Not just copying, but like really making it your own.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I want to ditch my usual jeans and a tee. What's a good first step? I'm not ready for like full-on cyborg chic just yet.
Baby steps, baby steps. You don't have to like change everything at once. Start small.
Okay.
Remember that metallic trench coat we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
Or some chunky platform boots? So cyberpunk.
Right.
From there, just play around, see what works.
I love that. So like this week, it's the boots. Next week, maybe I try that circuitry eyeliner.
Exactly. It's a journey, not a race.
Right.
And the best part is you figure out what you love, what feels like you, your own cyberpunk style.
This whole duck dive has been amazing. Cyberpunk fashion, it's more than just clothes. It's an attitude, being yourself, and yeah, kind of sticking it to the ordinary.
It is.
But before we wrap up, what's like the one big thing you want our listeners to remember?
It's a statement. Cyberpunk fashion, it says, this is me, I don't follow the rules. And in a world where everyone's trying to fit in, that's pretty powerful,
Yeah.
So if any of this speaks to you, don't be afraid to try it. You might surprise yourself.
Love that. It's not about just looking good. It's feeling good, being your most authentic self. And hey, maybe you'll inspire someone else to find their own cyberpunk style. Until next time, stay curious, keep experimenting, and don't be afraid to break the mold.